Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. It is September 30th here in the simulation, and we're about to start postseason baseball. We're matched up with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Game 1 is going to see ace versus ace. Previous Cy Young winner versus possible future Cy Young winner, Burns versus Skeens. It's a Clash of the Titans scenario here, and how this is going to work for me for the first time one of my solo series has reached the postseason. It's year 2 for the Pirates, and I could not be more excited. What I'm going to do is show the entirety of the first inning for each pitcher as we progress through, and then we'll get forward to some of the bigger or key moments. I will not include every pitch, every single out. I am going to skip just a bit during the edit here, just to keep the pace of play up, but I think we're going to have a really, really good one here. And the stats from Paul Skeens last year, well, actually this year, I say last year because I'm not used to the postseason here, but this year, a 2.48 average, over 200 innings pitched, over 200 strikeouts. Skeens has been the dude, and as expected, that's why we signed him to a gigantic contract extension, and I really could not be more pleased right now, and it's going to be the best of the best here. Game 1 versus Arizona. Skeens versus Christian Yelich is going to begin this game, and we'll miss outside the zone with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Yelich, as shown there, is a 3-time Silver Slugger. So we've got our work cut out for us. Luckily, he watches that bullseye sinker, and it's even back up to 1-1. I've got some high hopes for Skeens in this game, and we'll get our first out here on a grounder to Triolo. And that comes pretty quick. But I've got a lot of emphasis here, I think, on the pitching. As we identified in some of the end-of-the-year stats and how the team ranked and all that, it was clear that pitching was our identity. And McCarthy is going to drop a bunt down. Schumann attempting to play it, but 99 speed, and he's going to get there. Wow, an unorthodox first hit of the game there for Arizona as McCarthy bunts one down. But anyways, what I was saying is that we identified pretty quickly there towards the end of the season. No, yeah, you know that speed's going, and we're going to throw it, and we got him. Wow, Joey Bart behind the plate. We needed a perfect throw, and we got it. He delivered. We threw out because I was expecting the hit and run based on the warning and his speed. The show drone is going to focus there, and yeah, perfectly placed to get him. He has a sneaky bunt on base hit and then tries to steal second? No, not on Joey Bart's watch. Anyways, what I'm saying is that we identified our strength as a pitching first Pittsburgh Pirates team. So we know that the offense is not fantastic, but we're expecting the pitching to get us far. And so with that in mind, I expect Skeens to go deep into this game. And, oh crap, I forgot Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was on this team. Okay, well, no problem yet. He will ground out to Triolo, and Skeens is through the very first inning of postseason baseball. Let's go, guys. So Arizona has struck for the very first hit, but we got him out on a fortunate turn there, as we were luckily able to call that steal attempt. Corbin Burns is going to be on the mound here for Arizona, and he was great in his stats so far this year. Skeens clearly with the advantage, though, in the advanced numbers, and Luis Arraez is going to be at the plate first for us. I took a big chance on signing him as somebody who I felt was going to be a great contact player that we could have lead off for a high average, get on base, and give our guys lots of opportunities to drive him in. It didn't quite work out as well as I expected or hoped that it would. Arraez came in somewhere around a 250 average, and he's going to lift that off of good contact to center field, but that is the first out for Corbin Burns. But Arraez didn't do as well, and I think that the rest of the team needed to pick that up a little bit. I do still anticipate Arraez being a great signing for us, but for this year that we had him, he just was not the guy that I fully expected. O'Neal Cruz had a great year, though, and I was really, really happy with his contributions. He's another one that I didn't really highlight that much throughout the year. And I think mainly just because of kind of the similar situation that I talked about with Paul Skeens. When you expect these guys to do a great job, and they do a great job, there's not necessarily the same excitement factor as kind of the wild, the wild card of like, there's going to be somebody that you don't expect to do good, and they do a really good job, or somebody that you expected to do great, and then they failed catastrophically. You know what I mean? The drama involved in those situations are a little more prescient in my mind as we go through the season. And so as we choose storylines to follow, and as we develop these guys into being key players and key pieces on the board for us, some of the guys that do meet the expectations that we set for them kind of fall a little bit by the wayside. And I do feel a little bit like O'Neal Cruz, just like Paul Skeens, falls into that category. Somebody who last year was projected to be a leader in almost every category was Bryan Reynolds. Now, he had an excellent year this year as well. I don't think that he was as good as last year. I'd have to go back and look at the numbers, but just off the top of my head here as I'm trying to do this commentary, I think Bryan Reynolds did a little bit better last year, but he was still really, really good and definitely critical for the success we've had this year. And here he comes in clutch to give us our very first hit of the game as we answer back to Arizona. 1 hit for 1 hit so far in the first inning. And now Joey Bart, after his phenomenal throwout, is going to get a chance at the plate. That's a line drive to center, and that is out. Both pitchers out of the first, scoreless. And so this is the moment now that we start progressing forward a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to show every pitch. I'm going to probably lean more towards showing action pitches, I think. Basically, that means a result within a pitch or two, just so we can keep this pace going and keep it action-packed for you guys. As Ketel Marte will grab a piece of that curveball, but it's grounded out to short. And Skeens has the first out here in the top of the second. It's 0-2 against Connor Norby now, and Skeens delivers a good slider, and that's driven to Triolo, and that's out number 2. Up 6th for Arizona is going to be Corbin Carroll, the speedster, and he gets a weak contact there. Schumann able to react quickly, and 99 speed is burned at second. Corbin Burns on the mound for Arizona in the bottom of the second has done well to get the first 2 outs, and Spencer Horwitz is at the plate now. Used to be my kryptonite, but we've had some success this year, and not yet here in the postseason, as that is the 3rd out for Corbin Burns. Top of the 3rd now for Paul Skeens with the count full against Gurriel, and we get him on a slider below the zone. He's swinging at the junk downstairs, and we got him. And it's 0-2 now against Gabriel Moreno. Skeens delivering. And that slider is lifted high into left field for Bryan Reynolds, and that is out number 2. So far, Skeens has been cruising. Arizona showing a little bit of craftiness with that early bunt. That's something that's going to stay in my mind. And Geraldo Perdomo with a line drive to left field. It's cut off quickly by Reynolds to prevent the advance to second. But Arizona has got a 2-out base runner off of the single. And the lineup will turn over now for Christian Yelich. He comes back around and immediately swings on the first pitch. That one goes to Reynolds, and that will be good enough for out number 3. Skeens is through 3, looking really, really good so far. Bottom of the 3rd now with 1 out, and Jack Sowinski in the 9 spot is going to be at the plate now. And that's an easy take on the curveball by Burns. And this is a great time, I think, to bring up one of the thoughts that has been forefront in my mind is that with the injury to Evan Carter during the last month of play, the question is like, how much is that going to impact us? How much is the absence of Evan Carter going to dictate our success here in the postseason? Jack Sowinski has been placed and thrust really into a gigantic role. And I know he's in the 9 spot right now, but as far as the speed and defense of Evan Carter giving us great range in the outfield, the potential for power, which, to be fair, Sowinski has a good bit of power as well against righties. He's got a 77 rating. But I think there was much more of an expectation for Evan Carter to play like an all-star or develop into one. And so, again, going back to where the expectations lie for some of these players, for Evan Carter, the ceiling is much higher than Jack Sowinski. And so, with Carter out for the injury, Sowinski has got to step up to the plate, literally and metaphorically, and really, really make himself useful for us here in the postseason as he gets probably the biggest opportunity of his career. And right now, he's doing really well to push the count against Corbin Burns. He's had 7 pitches so far, make it 8 off of the fouled curveball. Sawinski is doing one of my favorite things, driving that pitch count, making sure that we can get their starter tired. If we can get him out early and break into the bullpen and wear them down, it's going to really work wonders for the series. And Sawinski is not going to be able to hold back on that curveball. That's a strikeout and throw out over to first. And the lineup will turn over now for the first time for Pittsburgh. Luis Arraez back at the plate. It's 1-0 against him, and he will make contact there. It goes to right field, and it's caught before the warning track. Burns is out of this one. So far, it's been a pitcher's duel, as expected, between Corbin Burnes and Paul Skeens, and it's just a matter of which pitcher is going to crack first. We've got capable offenses here, although I think I probably have to give the edge. If I got to be honest here, it's got to be Arizona with a better offense, so I really am depending on Skeens just to hold this thing down. And McCarthy, as soon as I say it, is going to lift that deep to right field, and it's gone! Sawinski's going to watch it go over the wall, and Arizona has struck first against our ace. And it is a 1-0 ball game now. Arizona takes the lead. We are in the 4th inning, and finally a team has a run. Unfortunately, it is not your Pittsburgh Pirates. We will settle back in here and get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. out on the strikeout throw out to first. Ketel Marte next on a 2-2 count. We'll lift that to right field for Jack Sawinski, who will get underneath that. And that's 2 down. And here for the final out could be Connor Norby. It's 0-2 against him. Skeens delivering, and we got him on the sweeper. It's time to strike back here, and O'Neal Cruz is going to be the first one to get the opportunity. It's 0-2 against him. Corbin Burnes with a very efficient pitch count so far, and O'Neal Cruz is going to get a line drive single to lead off the bottom of the 4th. There we go. It's a great way to start the comeback as we are down near the halfway point of this game. We got to keep it close because if it gets too deep here, and we've got to take Skeens out, we're depending on bullpens, etc., etc., it's just going to be more dangerous. And so when O'Neal Cruz gets on first, he really just gets on second, and he proves it there with the stolen base. We've got MVP chance for Brian Reynolds. I love it. Here we go. He lifts that deep to center field. It's going back, going long, and they turn just before the warning track that is going to be deep enough to attempt third base, and Cruz is there. He's safe. We've got the tying run 90 feet away and Joey Bart at the plate. It's a full count against him, and he's already had a big defensive moment. Can he get an offensive highlight here? He fouls that away to keep it alive, 3-2. Let's go Bucks, chance from PNC Park. These fans could not be more ready for something. And he hits that well. It goes to right field, a line drive, and that's got to be deep enough to test it. Cruz coming home, and he's there. We've tied the game. A sacrifice fly by Joey Bart, and we've answered back right away against Arizona. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Max Schumann up at the plate now. It's 1-0 against him. This will be pitch number 50 for Corbin Burnes, and that's weakly grounded over to second base for casual out number 3. But we are back to square one in this ball game. We move forward into the top of the 5th, and it's 0-2 against Corbin Carroll. Skeens. Oh, no. Corbin Carroll takes that, and it bounces off the wall in right field. Instead of going into the upper deck, it bounces off, and that is just a double now for Corbin Carroll. But now Gurriel is 0-2 against him, and he'll swing and miss on the sinker at the top of the zone. Skeens challenged him. Skeens wins. That's strikeout number 4, and now it's Gabriel Moreno up to the plate. And he will ground it. It gets past Skeens. Can't get to the dive either, and Cruz will throw home. But Corbin Carroll's one of the fastest players that they have, and he's home, and Arizona has taken the lead now. Geraldo Perdomo at the plate with an opportunity. Triolo to second. Montgomery back to first, and we've got the double play, but Arizona is now in the lead one more time. Colson Montgomery at the plate, bottom of the 5th. It goes to left field. It's going deep, going back, and it bounces out. That's a ground rule double. There we go. Good way to lead off this inning, and that is a big-time clutch hit for Colson Montgomery. I know it's not a run, but a runner in scoring position to lead off is the next best thing. And it's 0-2 now against Spencer Horwitz, as Corbin Burnes is still trying to get through this game, and he'll strike out Horwitz there. Burns has been really efficient with his pitch count. We haven't been able to do as much against that as I normally would like to, minus a couple guys having some really good at-bats. And here's another one, speaking of which. Jared Triolo has now run the count full. Burns is nearing the fatigue level on that energy bar. That is definitely something to keep an eye on. And a weak grounder from Triolo to shortstop, and they've got him. There's 2 outs, and that runner is now in danger of being wasted there on second base. And it's Jack Sawinski. He's averaged .282 this year with limited appearances. I've said it over and over again. This is the time for him to shine. He really needs to. And he does! Oh my goodness! Jack Sawinski! Deep to right center field! It's gonna bounce off and go into the Allegheny! Jack Sawinski has come through in a massive way to save this game from disaster. A 2-run blast to give us the lead here in the postseason. Arizona now losing 2-3. Sawinski stepped in for Evan Carter and did not look back. It's 2-3. I can't believe it. Here we go. There's still a lot of baseball left to play as a rise will bring that into left field, and that's out number 3 to end the 5th. Paul Skeens back out at the top of the 6th. They're booing Christian Yelich. I don't know what he did, and that's a great grab there at third base. Excellent reaction by Schumann. It's 0-1 now against Jake McCarthy. One of the reasons that this game has been competitive, and that's a grounder to Montgomery, and Horwitz snags it at first. Skeens is about to pass into the 6th inning. Well, out of the 6th inning, rather, but complete 6. Sawinski reacting in right, and he's just there in time. There we go. We'll carry the lead into the 7th. And Arizona's going to bring out A.J. Puck. And he's been really good through his 57 innings. I say really good, but a 4.06 ERA, a 1.49 whip, maybe on second thought, not that great. But he's got full energy. He throws 5 different pitches, lots of movement. And wow, he grabs that from O'Neal Cruz. That should have went up into center field and been a 1-out single. Or no, a leadoff single, excuse me. He is the first out now. And Brian Reynolds will step up. It's a lefty-righty matchup now with Reynolds switching sides. And he weakly grounds that over to second base, and that's out number 2. I had good timing on that, but just unfortunate results. And now Joey Bart steps back to the plate with 2 outs. And he weakly grounds that over to third base this time, and that will do it for the 6th inning officially. I think the longer that we can go with Skeens, the better I will feel, and we're in the top of the 7th now. We miss outside 100 miles an hour, and the count is 2-1 to Ketel Marte. Skeens throwing again. And another good reaction from Schumann prevents it from going into left field, and Skeens has the first out. It's 0-2 now against Connor Norby, and he's got a lot of speed as well. You definitely want to keep this guy off of the base. And he watches the sweeper inside. That's strike 3. Skeens will sit him down. Only strikeout number 5, as Arizona has had some really competitive at-bats. And Corbin Carroll is back now. And he hits that well. It's a laser beam line drive out into left center field. Cruz reacting, but 99 speed will round the bases and get to second. And that's a 2-out double for Carroll. And now here we go one more time. Gurriel weakly grounded, and Triolo will have the shot there. Back to first, and Skeens is through 7 innings now. The lead's still intact. All right, here we go. Full count to Max Schumann, who's had so many good defensive moments now. And no, we watched the sweeper. It looked like it was going to stay out there, but Puck gets us. Colson Montgomery now at the plate behind 1-0. No, never mind. I had 1-0. I'm all over the place, you guys. I'm sorry. The excitement of this game is just like scrambling my brains. There's 2 down now in the bottom of the 7th. Spencer Horwitz up to the plate. I'd love to have such a big moment with him. That would just cap off this year for me. And he will ground it. It's stopped. It's short, but it's not going to be played in time. And Horwitz has a 2-out single. There we go. I mean, I'll take it. It's a hit. And now Triolo. Count evened at 2-2. Man on first and 2 outs. And he will get that through into center field. All right, we might have something cooking here. Late game, I know, but 2 on, 2 out now. And Jack Sawinski is back in. He's already come through big time. pretty much as big as you possibly could without it being a grand slam. And he'll do it one more time. Sawinski to left field. And there we go. That's another run coming in. It's now 4-2. Sawinski has single-handedly won this game if the score holds. Gosh, see what I mean? I get too excited. I can't do it. Lineup turns over with men on the corners for Luis Arise now, and the count's 2-2, and he can't grab the slider. He will go down, and we'll strand him, but now we've got a little bit of a lead.
0-1.
And because of that, we will leave in Paul Skeens. It's the top of the 8th. He's our ace. I know that he's going to win some Cy Young awards through his career. He's the guy that you want in the situation, and the less we have to rely on anybody else to do it, the better that this game should be going. Cruz is underneath that at the warning track, and Moreno is out. It's 1-2 against Perdomo now. Still only 80-plus pitches for Skeens, and that's another strikeout as Perdomo watches the sinker on the bottom edge of the zone. 6 strikeouts now, and Christian Yelich is back to the plate. And Cruz will not be able to go there. I don't want to dive after that one. We don't need to take those kind of chances here with such a slim lead. But I do think that it's time to talk to Skeens and figure out whether he thinks he can finish this thing. There's a man on. The tying run will be coming to the plate here. He's got 86 pitches total, and his energy's pretty low. But again, I think that we rely on Skeens, and I think that he would argue to stay in the game. So I'm going to let him try it. Here we go. Jake McCarthy back at the plate. Big showdown moment. That's a foul ball deep to right field, and that one was a little scary coming off the bat, considering McCarthy is already homered off of us. Pitch number 2, 100 miles an hour, up and away. Skeens is ahead. Here we go. The payoff pitch. It goes to Cruz in center field, and McCarthy was underneath it, and that is 8 innings complete for Paul Skeens. Joe Mantiply is coming in for Arizona now, and he has not had much success this season with 56 innings and a 5.75 ERA. It might be the white flag moment for Arizona as they've stopped trying to mount a comeback so seriously. And O'Neal Cruz will take ball 4 outside. Okay. Well, I said it earlier. When O'Neal Cruz gets on first, really normally it's second. And we're going to try that again here. Reynolds at the plate. I will hit it because it looked like he didn't have a great jump there. And so we'll have the fielder's choice, but we've got speed in scoring position. Joey Bart is back at the plate now with 1 out. He's not had a hit yet in the postseason. Looking for his moment still. And that goes to right field. It's going back. It's going deep. And it bounces off the wall. O'Neal Cruz will score. And we've got a 3-run padding lead now. Joey Bart has finally come through, and he's got an RBI double. There we go. Max Schumann next will lift that in the right field and trying to emulate that Bart double, but it's not even close. All right, they throw to third, but we don't advance the runner. Bart's not got that kind of a speed rating, at least. So Colson Montgomery with 2 outs, and he lifts that to left. Gosh. And that's the end of the 8th on a diving catch. Spectacular. And yeah, that was Gurriel. He prevented another run coming in, and that might have even been a triple had that gone past into the wall. There's no one else there. Spectacular catch, though. And it's time to close this thing down. We're going to bring in Colin Holderman. Of course we will. 2026 Reliever of the Year, Colin Holderman. Excuse me while I don't forget that accolade that he just earned. And earn it he did. He was just so good all year, you guys, and it's probably been a little bit annoying or grating how often I've said it, but Colin Holderman has been the dude, and I'm still going to get that jersey. Don't worry. I will buy it. I'll keep you guys updated on when it gets ordered and when I go get it. Might be a few weeks, might be a month or 2 because my source orders in batches, not just singularly for me. Anyways, that is 1 out, and that's Vladimir Guerrero Jr., so that's a good one to get. We do not want him to be in any kind of a position to hurt us. And we've got a 3-run lead now against Ketel Marte. And that sinker's not called on the outside edge. Let's try one more out there. And we get the cutter. Just barely drops in there at the bottom. Let's try going inside now as we've gone away twice. That sinker catches a little too much of the plate, but Marte watches it. And we're ahead 1-2 now. Let's try to go up and away. And he gets a piece of that cutter. We are so close, you guys, to securing our very first postseason win in any franchise that I've done solo. I'm very excited for this. It's 2-2 now as Marte has watched it. And he swings and misses on that cutter. 2 down now and only 1 more to go. We're so close, you guys. Connor Norby is going to be standing in our way. He has yet to have a hit in the postseason. He lifts that to center field, and Cruz is going to be underneath it. You guys, we have won the game. The Pittsburgh Pirates victorious here in the postseason. Raise the Jolly Roger, reload those cannons, and let them fire. Let's go, you guys. What a great game. What a way to stay composed, get after their pitchers, and make the most of the situations that we have. Jack Sawinski stepping in for Evan Carter has been absolutely massive. Joey Bart had a great game and came through big time for us as well. And we now had the lead against Arizona in this National League Wild Card Series. I'm so excited for the rest of the postseason, you guys. I cannot wait to get there. And it should be a really, really good one. There's a lot of quality teams here. Game 2, we'll see Shane Baz versus Ryan Nelson. Can't wait to be there. Hope you guys join me. I'll see you soon.